Alright, so it's almost spring. Still snow on the ground outside, as you can see. But I wanted to give a few updates. Some of the cuttings that I started in the large cups, they're growing strong. Did have the one I-258 crap out on me. The leaves just sort of shriveled up and died, which usually tells me that root system never actually formed. Not sure what happened with that guy. Everybody else is looking healthy. This Manresa is really growing strong. The Colidame Rojas starting to get a good root system going as well. And I got a couple of these figs that I started in these clay pots, and that's a more recent addition. And what you'll notice is the ones like this that I didn't wrap really didn't do well. There's one here, and then there's one here. And then you'll see the ones that I did wrap and just recently put in are doing much better. So that parafilm that I put on really seems to be making a difference. You can see all of the ones in the clay pots with the parafilm are doing pretty well. I will say those clay pots dry out very, very quickly though. And then here's 2 or 3 of the trees that I started in the inside this winter, and they're starting to really come along. And I'm looking forward to these varieties. I'm hoping that Bordeaux Negra Ramada that I have this year will have some variegation to it. The other one I have doesn't, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, they're coming along, and I've also got all the trees in here starting to go now. They're all starting to leaf out. This one right in front here is a Broche de Otonero that I just moved in yesterday, so it's going to require a little bit of time. But everything is growing well in here. Even managed to get some seeds started. Got some zinnias and some vegetables. Started the vegetables way too early, but you know, you get bored, right? So the zinnias that were closest to the wall panel are really growing strong. So I actually switched the tray around to give the smaller guys a little bit more light. So we'll see what happens. Oh, one small update on the greenhouse. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see this. It's a little hard to see because there's moisture on it now, but the panels are starting to go in the greenhouse. It's really hard to see because there's some moisture up there, but each of these panels on the south side of the greenhouse has like a Swiss cheese hole pattern on it that goes through the upper layer. The inside layer is still intact, but the outside layer, it's starting to disintegrate. So kind of answers the question of how long these Harbor Freight panels last. About 3 years. Now, we had some sleet that probably didn't help, but you know, I expected them to hold up a little longer. So now I'm faced with the option of, do I go for the replacement Harbor Freight panels, which will probably be cheaper, or do I buy the more expensive ones that should last 10 years and cut them to size? So interested to hear people's thoughts. I'm sure this is something that we've all been faced with on any project we have, which is, you know, do you go the cheaper route knowing it won't last as long, or do you save up and put the money down on something that'll last a bit longer? And you know, the story of this greenhouse really was going the cheaper route. The Harbor Freight greenhouses are pretty inexpensive. I think all in, I'm, you know, $500 to $700 versus, you know, a glass greenhouse, which would have been potentially $5,000. So, interested in hearing people's thoughts. What would you do? Would you go the more expensive route that will last longer, or will you just kind of get it up and going, and you know, knowing that your desires may change in a few years and you may want to do something totally different? So, let me know. Also, some lettuce and spinach here growing strong. It's about time for a salad. Looks like it's about ready to be harvested. So, hey, a couple more days to spring. Hopefully the weather will start to cooperate and we'll have a warm spring here. I've got some big plans in terms of my orchard this year, and I'll keep everybody updated, and we'll see what happens. PA Figs, hope you guys are staying warm.